When you're in the mix of things, you don't really see what's happening outside of your tunnel vision. Things become normal, these expenses start piling up, and you stop really thinking about being proactive. You're more reacting. You have your clients coming to you for payments, you have your employees there every day looking for you for their next wage, and it's really hard. It's really hard to step back, look at your financials, and think about what can I do next. Hi, my name's Karina Romanova. I work out of Ryan Palmer. It is a lovely team to work with. I specialise in corporate insolvency. I work under Clement and Ibrahim, who are led by Daniel and Ahmed, absolutely amazing liquidators, external administrators. I have a supervisor position, and we deal with the clients day to day. We draft the emails, we deal with the correspondence, and it's a real joy being in my position. It's great still being on the tools. I get to speak to directors, I get to speak to creditors, and really feel that other side of insolvency where there are people on the end of the line. People who sometimes have made mistakes, sometimes have gone through, say, COVID, the cost of living crisis, where they haven't been able to manage financially either the industry that they're in, or some people just don't learn how to manage financials, and in the learning process, you make mistakes and you grow from that, and we're here to help them revitalize their businesses or bring comfort and closure. I am not someone who saw myself in insolvency. To be honest, studying at uni, I didn't really even know there was an industry. I dealt with the things that we deal with on the daily. I completed a law degree. In doing so, like many young Australians, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be in court. I wanted to stand up in front of a judge. In saying that, once I finished uni, I had a mentorship. And in the course of my mentorship, I met a colleague who worked in insolvency, and I started working for him. And I guess I never left. It was a great fit. You come across all sorts of scenarios, from retail, hospitality, construction, and you never come across the same case twice. It's one particular matter that comes to mind is working with an Indian company. Now, what happened was they had some problems meeting debts. They had some subcontractors who went into liquidation themselves. They had issues finding work and clients. However, it was a family-run business, and their employees had been with them for many, many years. Their employees were one family, and the last thing they really wanted to do was let anyone go or shut down the business. So they came to us to see what we could do to help. We decided that a voluntary administration might be the best way to go. And it was a pleasure working with the director and the staff. I spent days on site looking through financial records and just hearing their stories and their side of things. We were able to break down their expenses and their cash flow issues and really restructure the company, breaking down costs that were either unnecessary or things that sat too close to the director's heart. What the director really needed in that situation was a third party to come in and look at the books and records and look at the trading practices and provide a way forward. Because when you're in the mix of things, you don't really see what's happening outside of your tunnel vision. I mean, you have your clients coming to you for payments, you have your employees there every day looking for you for their next wage, and it's really hard. Working closely with the company, we were able to continue trading. We were able to restructure the company and put forward a proposal to creditors that was accepted. Now, there are a lot of negative connotations when it comes to insolvency. It's a dirty word that gets thrown around. What people don't realize is that in entering a voluntary administration, you're actually able to trade through your debts. And they're able to do that because they put all their old debts aside and are able to continue business moving forward in a better way. Another turnaround story that comes to mind is where we assisted a mechanic repair company move through the small business restructuring process. Now, what that involved was them coming out to us and us assisting them in putting forward a proposal to their creditors where once the debts are crystallized and settled for a certain amount of cents on the dollar, then they're able to continue trading. Now, in doing so, they needed to be able to show that there is a possibility for them to continue trading profitably and that their financial difficulties were something that was not a systemic issue, but something that they could actually overcome. And now the big problem that this client had was the COVID shutdowns. They worked with a insurance provider who offloaded mechanical repairs to them. And what happened was no one was driving. The catchments were closed, catchments that they worked in, and there wasn't a lot of offloading coming their way. Now, they had a really, really good relationship with this insurance provider. What they were able to do is negotiate a exclusivity contract. Now, what that meant is that that insurance provider put them first in line with the work that needed to be done in that area, not just in their catchment, but in the surrounding catchments. What that meant was that they strengthened their future revenue stream, and they were able to show that to their creditors. We were able to facilitate the whole process by speaking to the creditors and by dealing with the insurance provider to ensure that it was a transparent process where the creditors were able to see the future incoming cash flows. And why I enjoy insolvency so much isn't so much the shutdown side of things. It's stories like that where we're able to help our clients, the directors, the creditors, the business continue moving forward. We need to consider all stakeholders, the community, and how these companies and businesses generate the revenue to ensure that their communities continue to function. And it's a real pleasure being a part of that and to ensure that everyone keeps their jobs. And one of the reasons I really love working at OBP is that we are so very culturally diverse. I myself am Russian. I was born in Russia and I came over when I was 5. I didn't speak any English, not at all, was thrown straight into kindergarten, and my mother was pretty much the same, and she had to make things work. Regardless, she wanted a better life for us, she wanted a great future. I mean, that's really one of the reasons why I want to study to become a lawyer, to make her proud, to make such sacrifices worth it. And why that really sits with me is that a lot of the directors and a lot of the clients that we work with, they come from similar situations. They come here, they don't have a word of English to their name, they're trying to make a life and a start of it, and it doesn't always pan out for them. And that's why we're here to help.